Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the initiative Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. And we have a very simple goal understanding sustainability in a holistic manner, holistic understanding of sustainability. And that's how we connect every week on Saturdays, and evening is preferable time for all of us. So, this group is nothing but a mastermind group, and so it's nothing but a concept of synergy. And the concept of mastermind was put forth by Napoleon Hill, but it's not a new concept. It's generally just a concept of synergy, which is 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2, but there are infinite possibilities of collaboration and the synergistic outcome. So that is the same thing what we would like to discuss over here, try to understand from each other. So hopefully this time spent, the valuable 60 minutes would be valuable for all of us more than what we can imagine. Okay. So what are the outcomes that you can expect from this 1 hour is? First is learning new concepts every week. It's not possible to, from our busy schedule, working life, it's not possible to devote some time for learning. So it's a good way to devote 60 minutes, 1 hour for this. So that's why we will get to know something new every week from each other. And that's how the networking opportunities emerges and different career options or different entrepreneurial options, learning opportunities, we will get to know. And the fourth is definitely the thought leadership in sustainable development, because sustainable development, it's not a job of one person. It's not a thing which can be mastered by a single person. Multiple minds have to come together and they need to lead this uh, journey. So that's how we will try to enhance the overall learning for all of us. So that's how the leadership comes into picture. All right. So before starting the session, just within a minute, I'll tell you what are the foundation of the discussion. So first is DIKW pyramid, and this is nothing but data, information, knowledge, wisdom. So at the base, it's data information. That's too much for us. Even we get more data, more information than we can consume. I know most of us, because this happens to me. So I like some report, I like some book, I like some resource, online resource, and I just bookmark it to read it some other day. But somehow that other day never comes back. So we have more information, more data, more, everything is more, but what we lack is time. What we lack is the knowledge and the wisdom out of that resources. So which is only possible with the experience, with the time, and actual spending uh, our time to understand it. So this initiative is nothing but to learn from each other, because this is something we can learn from each other. We everyone have our experiences, so we can share. And that's the sincere request for all of you. This is not a session by an expert. It's just a session by explorers, sustainability explorers, as all of us are. So please feel free to add your points, add your experience to the discussion so that it's valuable for all of us. And second key foundation of this session is the discussion and question and answer. So this is the best way to learn. Without discussion, without questions, it's not possible, right? So please feel free to add anything that you want. So this is a non-judgmental group, and we would love to hear from all of you. Okay, so with this basic introduction, we can start the session. But just a reminder, if you have registered this session through the Google form, you might have received the email invite and WhatsApp group link. So I have ensured that uh, everyone registers through this form. They'll get this invite on the calendar. So if you haven't, so please do let me know. I'll share the link later. But this is the automated process so that we don't have to waste our time on that. Okay. So, all right. So this is it about the initiative. Let's directly start about today's topic. And today's topic is, unfortunately, I couldn't update it. I'm sorry, but yeah. So today's topic is the World Environment Day that is coming in next week, just within 4 days. So we will have World Environment Day. So I'll quickly share uh, how it started. And just before starting the session, I was just sharing with you all that this current initiative that I had, sustainability simply put, I started on 5th of June 2020. So it's almost 4 years. And starting with World Environment Day, at that time I felt that the awareness about sustainability is something lacking, and that's how I started this initiative. And somehow, uh, last last 1 year, I started this discussion forum. So, Saturdays for Sustainability Learning. But the point I wanted to share is, uh, somehow the World Environment Day was the day which motivated me to start something about it. Otherwise, it might have taken some more years uh, to get to that point. Okay, but somehow, because of World Environment Day, I started on that day, and that's how I continued for last 4 years. So I'll just quickly explain to you how it started, and as always, I always prefer to go directly to the source. And here we are. So this is United Nations General Assembly, as you can see. So we will go back directly to 1972. It was United Nations Conference on Human Environment. So that was held. So anybody know why it's 5th of June? Before explaining, I'll just ask. This is most of the time this is my method of uh, understanding. I always ask why. It's 5th of June, so why it is only 5th of June? Why not any other day? Anybody have the answer or any guess?
Hi, Dhananjay.
Yes, Anup.
I can have a guess. I can have a guess. I read somewhere. Maybe it's the and on that day, Paris Agreement or Rio de Janeiro, something regarding that has been taken care. The parties, something like that. I read. I don't know. It might be wrong,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, so it's in right direction. Yeah. Anybody would like to attempt?
Yeah, I read somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. What about others? So we are not judging anyone, so you can share. Okay. Or do you want to know directly the answer? Let me know.
By
Stockholm
the way, it's
Conference.
before I think Paris. Before Paris Agreement. Sorry.
Okay. Paris Agreement. Okay. Uh, so the answer lies
No, 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 no,
in,
no. I was saying it's it. Ashish was saying something. Sorry to intervene. I was saying that it's not maybe the Paris is before. I think it's 1990s. At that time, in some
yeah.
some
So it's
agreement like
much
Paris
before
agreement
Paris
in that.
Agreement. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I was talking.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, Ashish.
Stockholm Conference in 1972 on 5th June.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, Ashish, you are right. So we will directly go to the declaration of the UNCHE, that is 1972 Stockholm Declaration. So this is very important conference actually in terms of environmental action throughout the world. So in 1972, United Nations Conference on Human Environment, that was held at Stockholm from 5th to 16th of June, and that's how the 5th of June came into picture. Because as this was very important, and many of the outcomes from this uh, conference were very, I would say, pivotal for environmental action, and that's how 5th June was important, because on that day it started, and that's how in this declaration itself it designates 5th June as World Environment Day and urges governments and the organizations in the United Nations system to undertake on that day every year worldwide activities reaffirming their concern for the preservation and enhancement of the environment, with a view to deepening environmental awareness and to pursuing the determination expressed at the conference. So this is important thing, because of which the 5th of June is celebrated across the world. And I guess the first World Environment Day was celebrated after 2 years. Means 1974, this happened in 1972. So the first World Environment Day was celebrated from 1974. So this is what we get to know from most of the reports.
1973, I think, first
Uh,
one.
okay, but somewhere I had read it's 1974.
No,
It was
1973, that the only one Earth, that is the slogan the first time. That is in Switzerland.
okay. Uh, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Because today also I read 1973, as you are saying, but somehow when I did research at that time, it was somewhere I read it was 1974. So there were two contradictory things, but yeah. So
Yeah.
let's
Is it
let's see.
is it somewhere reported or documented in any event document or publication?
Yeah, let's just quickly check that also. Just a minute.
It is there in that
Yeah.
United Nations website,
Yeah,
1973.
Okay.
we'll check over there only. Yeah, so National Geographic Society 1973 was showing. Yeah, you're right. 1973. So maybe this is a trusted resource.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. It's 73. Yes. Yeah, so I need to check where I read 1974. I'll get back to you. Then we should discard that resource. Okay, sure. So I hope you could see the screen, right? I shared the website of United Nations. Okay,
Yeah, I'll visual.
okay, perfect. Yeah, so let's go back and so every year there is one theme. So last year it was related to plastic, and this year we have a theme related to desertification. And every year this kind of awareness document, practical guide is shared, as you can see on the screen. Yes, you can see. So every year there is one theme, and on the occasion of World Environment Day, so all the organizations, means organizations across, let's say, government, civil society, the activist groups, and at individual level. So everyone tries to create awareness around this one important topic, one theme, but it's not just limited to that theme. You can also bring in the other important aspects as well. Yes, Siddesh, I can see, say your hand is raised.
Yeah, sorry, before we start with this, I just wanted to add that, the question we should ask is why, as you said, right, why is 1973 when we already knew climate change is happening and CO2 leads to climate change, right? So the delay is too much. And if I can say, there's a lot of influence with the research that was happening. So if you are aware of this report called Limits to Growth that was released in
Right,
around 1971, so that was before this conference. But the
right.
question that needs to be asked is, why it took so much time for humanity to realize? Even after realizing, we are still taking time to act on it, but that's a different story. But
Yeah.
that for United Nations to come together and come and release this report itself is a question mark that we should ask as to why it took so much time. So yeah, thanks.
And even as you said, limits to growth. So that's an interesting story actually. So how this environmental action came into picture. So 1962, one report was published, The Silent Spring, uh, which talked
Yeah,
about pesticides and the
yeah, that
impact
was
of,
a
let's say,
influence.
yeah, yeah. So that was really a great movement started from 1962, the more awareness about environment and all. And as you rightly said, Limits to Growth was published in 1972. But as you said, 1971, after 1970, 71, they were creating awareness on this book, and we have Limits to Growth practically.
Yeah.
So, but what I will say, 19, let's say, if you consider after publication of Limits to Growth and Silent Spring, uh, the starting of World Environment Day celebration was very quick. Within a year, let's say, United Nations, uh, the complex organization also agreed that yes, this is important, we will do it, and started celebrating Environment Day. So, in my view, it is quick in terms of if we say the quantum of work and quantum of agreements with different nations, different parties. But yeah, your question is very pertinent. Why it is delayed the action part? Why?
Also, if you see, I just shared the BBC article on the science,
Mhm.
the history of climate change science. So That's also interesting to look at. If you can share, maybe they open the link, and
I'll just quickly share it on the screen.
because scientists have already started understanding how CO2 is contributing, to climate change. And even if you see, that's another scary thing was fossil fuel industry. The companies themselves were doing research, right? And their scientists came out with that. They also realized that CO2 is going to contribute, but the reports were never released. So that is also there. It's a nice history.
Yeah, that's great. Sure. I'll share this in our group as well. Where are we? Okay, 2013.
Okay, let's stop
So
there.
I guess this report is from
Uh-huh.
2013 or 14, might be.
Interestingly, it is man who has created all the problems from centuries, particularly after the technology and other things, maybe about 150, 200 years, and looking for a solution of his own. This thing. That is basically to overrule with other countries of a lesser this thing. And in the process, all these things are happening. And also keeping them also deprived of a good health and good quality life or whatever it is. I mean, even today it is happening in our country by all the Westerners and everyone. We are all, every family suffering, even diabetes or anything of the kind, is all due to the various chemicals, pesticides, everything that is being done. They stopped our natural way of growing, which was very much in our control, and we are all healthy. Grandparents healthy, we were healthy. My mother at 100 is healthy, able to do every work. I mean, which I can't see my granddaughter will do it, even at the age of 10.
Right. Agree.
Okay.
So, a lot of things to discuss. So today's our agenda is the same thing actually. It's not just about reading this report. It's not there. But what we will do, I'll just quickly share what are important points. This is a very short report. I like one paragraph in this report. And I would like to have discussion on that topic. And we will try to find out what is the solution, what we can do at personal level, what we can do at organizational level. Okay. So let's just quickly, I'll take less than 5 minutes for this report, and then we can discuss and brainstorm on the solution. So as I was saying, so every year they generate one report, one theme, and on that theme they create this practical guide. So this year is our land, our future, and we are generation restoration. So that is what this year's theme is. So this practical guide is designed to get everyone involved in restoring land, halting desertification, and building drought resilience, which is important. By joining forces, governments, businesses, civil society, and individuals can give nature a helping hand to forge a more sustainable world for generations to come. So, of course, so let's see what they have given. So, we all can agree that land degradation, desertification, and drought are the important critical issues that we all are facing. So, some of the statistics are there, like more than 1/5 of Earth's land area, some 2 billion hectare is degraded, and how we are losing soil, and also that is given. And this year is its World Environment Day is hosted by Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So what is the potential of ecosystem restoration? Some basic details they have given. So I still don't understand this financials that they give. When we bring degraded ecosystem back to life, it is $30 in ecosystem services for every dollar spent. So it's there. Restoring 1 billion hectares of degraded land globally will go a long way towards achieving sustainable development goals.
I think,
Reversing
sorry,
natural
I think they are saying the ROI of the return on
Yeah.
investment of putting that every dollar.
Yes. But this is very means controversial thing. So how that gets measured and what is the tangible outcome from it? The first reason is so even you say it as a utilitarian mindset, then let's say somehow there are bigger opportunities gets available to, let's say, cut a tree and get some more business outcome from that. So this point of view I don't know how it results in actual action and benefit for environment. That's just one thing. But yeah, definitely there are many uses for it. One of the uses, I guess, uh, for governments also they do some ecosystem evaluation. So at that time, it's useful for them. Since, if let's say this particular habit, this particular
Dhananjay,
let's say area, yes,
yeah, sorry for interrupting you like this.
yes, Anup, yeah, please,
So there's a thing called sorry, there's a thing called PES, Payment for Ecosystem Services, and this is a part of ecological economics. I work with this thing, basically that's why I just think of sharing it to things. It's under ecological economics or something like that. It comes under that domain. So basically, every ecosystem has its ecosystem services. There are like providing services, four types of services are there, be it land, be it wetland, anything. So these
right,
four types of services could be transformed into the like a monetary gaining. Okay,
right,
after evaluation, and through that evaluation, there are techniques called willingness to pay. It's for WTP, willingness to accept, WTA, like that thing. And based on that thing, there are several methodologies. I have a book on only on this thing, goods and services of ecosystem services. So based on that research, many of the people, the research in the world is doing this thing. So this comes from this US $30 million. This comes from this thing, I think. Not I think it is that thing. It's called PES, Payment of Ecosystem Service.
so yeah, so what I got from your point is, let's say it would be easier for us to convince someone, let's say, who is thinking in monetary gains, how much it will. So maybe we can say if you spend $1, you will get $30 of ecosystem services, right?
Yeah, it's the sentence with it means like bringing degraded ecosystem back to life yields up to $30 in ecosystem services for every dollar spent. That means ki if you spend $1 in exploiting any ecosystem services, that service have the capability of generating $30 itself. Let's say I work from the specifically on East Kolkata wetland. So there's I saw this thing, like I have that finding also. So there are like Aquatica Park in Kolkata, which is based on the ecosystem, wetland ecosystem, that particular wetland. So if you spend 100 rupees, let's say for example, to enjoy the ecosystem services which is got exploited because of the building of that park, and if you spend that 100 rupees, but it has that capability of generating, let's say, 30 times more, like that. So the amount of it would be
Otherwise, very
100
heavy.
rupees, but if you're spending only 100 rupees, so that's what it is trying to convey here. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry,
Right.
can you
Right.
repeat? I didn't get the last few lines. So we.
Okay. So basically, like if you spend sorry, let's not go into this. So in what I find, it's like, what does it mean conveying it? So I worked in the East Kolkata wetland in Kolkata. So there's an Aquatica park based on the wetland ecosystem just generated, and people used to visit it. It comes under the services of called support cultural services. So basically, the ecosystem services are four types. So under the cultural services comes, and you can evaluate it like the different based on the different methods. So let's say you are spending 100 rupees to visit to you're spending 100 rupees to visit that Aquatica park, which got exploited based on the Aquatica park, the ecosystem services. So now it is got exploited right away, but if it is not done, that ecosystem services could generate 30 times more of the amount you're spending. Like it has the capability of generating 1300 rupees, and you're spending 100 rupees from own your pocket to enjoy the services, but it has the capability in terms of the money. The particular wetlands ecosystem has the capability to give it back to society 1300 rupees, something like that.
Also, do
Layman's
they,
perspective, I'm saying.
sorry, also do they include the cost of, like if you say, by protecting ecosystem, you are, kind of able to protect the loss of life through heat waves, for example. and because of that you are reducing the economic loss. Because of that human loss, economic loss also happens. So do they have this fully loaded thing included in that, right? Such things also, or they this, how is that 1300 calculated? Is it
That
fully loaded?
there in this report, in this report they have, what I think, this is not, I don't know about why they put the particular amount, but to give you the context, I have just conveyed it. Basically there are lots of researches, but it started, there's a researcher called Costanza. Okay, if you search Costanza, Barbara, they are the pioneering in this payment of ecosystem services, wetland ecosystem services, like that, and it started in 1997, around that. So based on that, Costanza, Costanza is the surname of the entire the researcher. Okay. Barbara is the surname of another researcher. So Costanza, Tanza. So Costanza, Barbara, based on their report, I think it has calculated that they have calculated based on the literatures, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe this topic is
So that's the thing.
something, it's interesting. So maybe next week we can keep it for ecosystem restoration.
Because what I also believe is ecosystem is trying to protect us also, right? If you are protecting the mangroves, they protect us from the floods. So it is kind of protecting the loss that is going to happen because of floods, maybe, but mangroves are going to protect us. So that's where that strength of that money comes, I think. More than the services, direct services offered, it is also about
no, there are 4 types of services. Yes, you are definitely correct. There are 4 types. It's not only about the direct services, like provisioning services of any wetland or forest is in terms of the goods which you are getting. Like, let's say there are wetland agriculture, or in forest there are MFPs, minor forest products, or let's say fisheries are there. So directly you can translate into the market value of it. Okay, you'll get it how much they are gaining. And there are provisioning services, there are supporting services, let's say carbon sequestration, let's say the groundwater recharge. So these are all the supporting services. Then there are like cultural services like bird watching, or the bird species came there, like something like the aquatic, a park. So if it has not been has not been done like a business thing, that park is a corporate thing, but had it not been there, you can go around and roam around. That's also a cultural services will get. But is it there? That is because you have to spend 100 rupees. But had it not been there, it could generate. If it is on its own, the wetland, it could generate. It has a capability of generate 1300, 30 times more. Sorry, not 1300, 3000. Let's say. I'm miscalculating it since beginning. So not 30,000, 30 times more, like that. So it's the same ratio, 1:1:30. So if you're spending 100 rupees, it could have the capability of generating 3,000. Sorry. Yeah. So that's the thing. In same in mangrove also, everywhere it's the same.
So let's keep it for next week maybe. So we'll definitely would like to know more about how that helps, right? Yeah, so this is something that I wanted to share with you all from this report, and maybe we can discuss over it. Uh, just a minute. First, I'll show you the format of this report. So it's nothing but how uh, each one factor of this year's theme is helpful for us to achieve, let's say, sustainable development. So that's how they have given in different sectors, like government and finance sector can do this many things, agricultural businesses can do this many things, individuals can do this many things. So in this way, they have listed all these action items for all of us. And some interesting points also they have shared, like bats are important for our fruits. So that's how at least we should appreciate, we should understand how that will be helpful for us. So in short, this is just few basic things that they have given. We can directly see where we want to intervene and some of the action points which we can take. Very, very short report. So it's ending. Okay. So now let's come back to this and let's discuss. Okay. So I found this as an important thing that we should discuss. So they have given successful land restoration requires an approach that uses knowledge and ambition across generations, everybody alive now is a part of generation that is the first to witness the devastating effect of environmental degradation. We could be the planet's last hope to reverse course. We cannot turn back time, but we can grow forests, green our cities, harvest rainwater, and eat soil-friendly food. We can be the generation that finally makes peace with the land, with land. So, what are your remarks if you'd like to add on this? Why I thought it's important was first is the first sentence that they have shared. Successful land restoration requires an approach that uses knowledge and ambition across generations. So it's a knowledge of, let's say, previous generations and also the ambitions of future generations. Uh, to give the context, let's say, if I have a farm, uh, if I, let's say, sell it, if I stop farming, if I sell it by plotting that the farm, I'll get more financial gain compared to any other option, right? But that will not be a best strategy for restoration. So somehow that kind of disconnect between generations is the cause of environmental degradation that we had. So solution also lies in an approach that will involve all these generations and especially the future generations that we have. So how do we have the awareness for all of us and the practical steps, what to do? So in that sense, I thought this is important. If anybody would like to add your point of view, please.
So I just wanted to say one thing. Like, there's a caveat in this report. It's reported by, of course, UN is there, but Saudi Arabia is also there. So I
Right.
was just looking at. So they have mentioned climate change, but they have nowhere mentioned fossil fuels, right? So now of course, you can look at this report in isolation, but you can't hope to do restoration at the cost of continue to burning fossil fuels. So and the Saudi Arabia and COP, even COP has been criticized heavily by activists because the conference happened there and they are not cutting down on the fossil fuels. So that we have to understand. We can't look at this report in isolation, right? You can't hope to like suppose I'm doing farming in Satara or Bid, and I can't hope, okay, I will regenerate, and I will have the generations of knowledge, but at the same time I'm having temperatures of 50 degrees. So how you will do it? It's impossible, right? So that's there.
Agree.
So we will have to understand that, that's scary sometimes because they have the knowledge, they know how to, but they can't control the temperature, right? They are, how will they do farming at temperatures of 50 to 53? Yeah.
Yeah, agree. No, I completely agree with your point. There is no simple solution, and at the same time, uh, even I think in the same way that you think. If, let's say this, who is writing this report? So that is the first question that I also try to ask. Is there any agenda for them? If, let's say even United Nations or such kind of reports are also somewhat biased. Means we can't say that there is unbiased report published because before publication also they have thought in mind. I want to publish this kind of result so that I'll achieve this objective. So, but still, what I see is whatever we can take as an individual action to do this, we will do it. And at the same time, as you rightly said, fossil fuel is one of the important issue of emissions or climate change, right? So in our individual action, we should also include that. If we think that that is important, we should have that as well with this. And hopefully they will also understand it and change their ways. Who knows? Yes.
I have a
Dr.
point to share, brother. I
Yes,
have a point to
Ramkrishna,
share.
please.
Yeah.
Please, yeah.
There are about 15 cities in India where in your age group almost about 20-30 families are trying to acquire about 150 to 200 acres away from the city, about say 50 or 70 kilometers away from the city, and making them back to nature or back to village like, and not having this modern type of construction, living like a bit hut and other kinds, and also growing their own natural these things, agriculture and everything, all including education, everything they're doing on their own with all the facilities, and providing a roadmap to the nearest highway and all, one vehicle transportation, other kind and all. This is happening. Paripurna is one organization which has done in Bangalore. which is fairly successful coming up. And we are having Hyderabad also coming up. They acquired the land about 70-80 kilometers away. And it is happening in about 15 cities. They asked me to join in all the group. I said, at this old age, what can I do? But then I thought they're asked me to participate at least and contribute whatever I can. If I just sharing about that. This is one important aspect.
That's very important point actually. So I also know couple of organizations and couple of programs running on this line. In Maharashtra also there are many organizations
Yes.
that are working on it. Yeah, that's a requirement of time, I would say, because whatever food we get as of now, so that definitely has pesticides in it, and soil friendly food is the term that I like here. So how do we have it? Keeping in mind that current systems, maybe financial system, maybe the entire how this entire supply chain and food system is there. So how do we change it? That's a bigger question, and I don't have the answer for that. But definitely, a collective exploration might help.
Yeah. Another interesting thing I'll share. Last week we had in our club, this club is all above 80, 90, 100 also for all the members who come regularly. I mean, so there was one of the scientists from Baba Atomic Energy who was retired and he had joined our club. He spoke on the gamma rays. It was quite interesting, but it was too high technical with all the women's and everybody there to digest all the technicalities. But then there were 3 doctors from Apollo and other this hospital who shared very vital information that all the, what you say, you have purification inside the house, what do you call that? Water, purification water.
Which one? Sorry, reverse osmosis.
Reverse
RO
osmosis and so much.
RO
RO, exactly. All
Right.
these are negative and having very bad health on the individuals. And luckily for me, for past 40 years, I've been using only boiled water. And they all congratulated for our efforts and continuously doing consistently for the last 40 years. I mean, without using any of the modern gadgets of any kind. But that was the best answer. Everybody appreciated and accepted that the only answer for this. Just I thought share, because if you are also using, please get away and try to do this for the good health of your family, your children, and whosoever in your neighborhood. I mean,
and even a couple of years back, I had read that RO water is not good for health in long term. So I guess some of the High Court has banned the RO system, but I don't know what happened later on. Is anybody aware about it? The High Court judgment on RO system. So I guess it was from Delhi or somewhere. I'm not remembering now.
But one thing, the doctors themselves are accepting all these are bad. They're not at all good for health. From the senior most doctors who are about 70, 75, I mean, from the hospital, they themselves say it is all not good at all.
So it's important. If our food, if our water, and if our air is polluted, then I guess our body also gets polluted. There is no option, no chance. And yeah, how do we solve it? So that's the issue. One of the solution that you rightly said, so maybe boiling the water, so that's the best solution.
We, apart from boiling water, we add some roots, which we get it from South India. I don't know the English and other terminology. That helps in a lot of purification, and it gives nice smell and vibration. This thing also. So we do it also for last 40 years. We are doing that also. I'm only to you. I'm sharing that apart from boiling. But yes, that is the way it is. We buy every year for annual stock, and every month, every time we use it. Even for guests come, they all like it. But it is the way it is. We lead our life like that.
Great. What else?
There's one teak tree is there, brother, which comes along the river, ocean. That is, what to say, near the beach and all. The teak
coastal
tree.
area, right?
Coastal areas, exactly. In coastal areas, those trees have the qualities to do this quality of the water to improve and all those things. But then these technology people, they wanted to arrest that because their business cannot go. Because I was a part of a team about 25 years back, where we researched with one Gujarati, and he did it and started a business in Gujarat based on that. And he was doing very well. But unfortunately, because of the other things, which modernization and other things, he got out of the business. I mean,
Right.
that is, use natural things for your improvement, not technical and other things. Natural things we should use for your progress and improvement.
Right. Agree. So one point I would like to take from your discussion is, so there are many solutions available, but one issue is that the proper awareness, it doesn't reach to right people, or it doesn't reach to all the people who require it. So maybe this conventional wisdom, traditional solutions, we already had it, but somehow we are not able to get it to all the people. So that is one thing. And second thing, maybe there are agenda, maybe there are biases from across different sectors, different organizations. They want to do as it is, they want to keep system as it is. Yeah, there are all things, but how do we ensure that we have a non-judgmental, let's say, analysis? We will have the proper awareness and the action for all people. So how do we do it?
Essentially, I look at everybody is looking only for a comfort zone, easy work without much of efforts. Yeah, even if it is a servant-made family or anyone I'm talking, it's not necessarily of the very rich. I mean, but the thought process in every this thing of the present era, everybody wants comfort zone.
Right.
So in that, they don't want to do any hot work. Even if you put in a bud pot, still it is good. I mean, I used to do drip irrigation under a coconut tree. You have a small pot. In the pot, we put it and put one draw hole. We put the roots through that, and through that it goes into the plant, and that happens. This is specially done in Maharashtra. From there, I did in 93, 94. I did all this work, and then it found it very, very effective with less water consumption. Trees were all getting water for long duration, where there is absolute shortage of water. And just sharing very old memories, and because of discussion, it is coming into my mind. I mean.
But yeah, that's helpful for us. And there is one interesting.
Yes, Dhananjay, I
quote
just
shared by
want
Sukhdev.
to share one thing,
Yes, Anup, please.
maybe. So based on the solution you're talking and taking cue of the entire conversation, I'd like to share the entire World Environment Day message this year. You will find there is a specifically with this year. This is about the event decade of restoration is going on since 21,
Right.
30. So based on the entire land concept, what should be done? That's been already in that. You can check. I've put it in the chat. You can check that message. There is a link pasted of the entire PPT, how the entire ecosystem restoration should be done for any organization or anybody, individually also. And the strategies are there. So it's all pasted there. You can check it out.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, so I guess this is same from this report also. Both are, I guess, similar.
Okay, is it there? I got it from
Yeah.
UNEP actually. There's somewhere it's link you will find somewhere.
But yeah,
I think
this
this is part of that report, right? I think.
Yeah, it's a part of the report.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, but it's good to have a summary. Everyone is lacking time now. Who will read these 21 pages? So that is the question we all have. So it's good to have a summary. So thanks. I'll share this as well.
Brother, I would like to read relaxedly. I have a lot of time to spend. So let me go through it.
Yeah, sure.
And
I'll share this.
one
both
small suggestion, we should raise a small common fund for all this. The work should not go waste. Because some time you have a plan, you can use the fund for really experimenting and trying and spreading and all those things. Nothing can happen overnight. So definitely, I'm willing for supporting this cause for the youngsters, for my next generation at least. Okay.
So should we read something from this? That is what.
Yeah, I can. I think you can continue the entire report or also this. This is
Yeah, let's
also
see what
PPT.
they are
Let me
suggesting
check.
for individual action, and then we can have a discussion on that also. So let's take the example of agriculture. Make agriculture sustainable. Uh, Agriculture finance reform is something that we have to do. Currently, agriculture producers receive 540 billion US dollars a year in financial support from countries. About 87% of subsidies either distort prices or harm nature and human health. But we can change this. So what we can do? So let's leave government and finance sector. Agriculture business also we can leave. So maybe as a school, university, company, club, civil society, faith-based organization, at least we have some control over there. So use sustainable foods and reduce food waste in cafeterias and at events. Definitely we can do. Share knowledge about sustainable foods and cooking practices. We can do. Practice sustainable agriculture in community gardens and on campuses. So this is very interesting concept that is coming up. Community gardens or community agriculture. So let's say we are 100 people. We will buy some land and we will have a community agriculture over there. So that's the concept is rising in cities. Also, campus for let's say sustainable agriculture or fruit gardens. So these are also on rise. Couple of schools had this concept called as butterfly garden. So they will have all the trees, and it's practically being done in India. So that's a practical way. Foster community engagement based on common values. So can be done. Implement youth specific education and awareness campaign on the importance of land restoration in communities. Absolutely, that's important. Let's see personal level what we can do. Use purchasing power to support only brands that sustainably source materials. Yes, so we can do. Buy local to support local farmers to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Include more soil friendly foods in our diet, such as lentils, beans, chickpeas. Shift diets so that they are regional, seasonal, and plant rich. So, what I understood from this is buy locally, buy seasonal food, whatever is available from, let's say, farmers, if you can purchase, that would be better. And whatever is in local region, so maybe that reduces the burden. Use the plant-based diet calculator to find out how food choices impact the environment. So I have checked this plant-based diet calculator. I'll also show you. Just a minute. So I'll just read this and I'll share. Shop for sustainable and locally produced food products and beverages. Demand better labeling, including information on product carbon footprint and sustainability. Spread the word by hosting sustainable cook-offs and share tips to reduce domestic food waste. So yeah, these are good suggestions, I guess. Let's just see this plant-based diet calculator, because one of the things that I was observing in this report, the food choices were not directly clear in this. So they didn't share that, okay, if let's say you are eating meat, or let's say if you are eating animal products, that will have more impact on climate. So directly it was not there, but planet based diet calculator, so it is covering in that. So we can just select the country, and that's how the different options come. So
This CSR, that is corporate social responsibility, the corporate companies are funding, and if you can do their factories out inside and all the areas, they'll help in funding, and it can be experimented and done in those ways. That is
Right.
one, at least for gaining knowledge and this in confidence, and then we can do it externally other places.
Right.
Right from optimizing of the use of water and various other resources.
Yeah, absolutely. there are many options that we need to explore how we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in short, this is the calculator that they have shared. But what I feel means instead of searching accuracy or how correct it is, usefulness should be more important. So instead of saying this is correct or this is not correct, how useful is it to create awareness and bringing the action part in the people? So let's say after doing this, reading this report or after doing this calculation, if someone is okay, clear, or they get motivation that okay, I need to reduce, let's say, red meat or fish, or I'll stop the poultry consumption in that sense. So I guess that is more useful. And yeah, because there are many research which also tell you that how uh, means, the water consumption, the water footprint of different food choices that we have. So how that is driving climate change and also there are multiple things, but ultimately, I guess what is important, what we can do in our day-to-day life, where we can do it for long term, and we will be happy doing that, and at the same time, it will contribute towards something better for the environment. So I guess that's helpful, and everyone should strive for doing that simple thing.
Now, here I'll share a small secret out of my past
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah,
Wherever
please.
you want to implement, please make the local people, whichever area it is, to involve them, be part of them. Slowly you withdraw and they manage on their own. And you keep monitoring weekly, monthly, like that, and slowly come out of it totally so that they fully confidently they can work. You can just give visiting reports so that they feel confident and also help them in some funding, whatever way. But it has to be managed by themselves. Never become yourself as a single point of this contact for every time. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Agree, sir. That is sustainable
okay.
solution.
Yeah. No, we did in a
Because
lot of villages, all this.
uh-huh.
I'm talking all the way back before 2000. I mean,
Yes. So one
Also,
last question. Yes, Siddesh, please.
sorry, I wanted to just add to that, schools, universities campaigns, right? So this youth specific education and awareness campaigns, that actually works. And there is a recent example of that. I will share that article with you. Like there is this label Padega India. Have you heard of it? Like, so this few Instagram influencers, few guys, they came up and then started going to this schools and showing that, how much sugar content is there in all this fruit drinks, and even Bonmeta had to now curtail. And now
Yeah.
for example, if you see the lace that is manufactured in India has palm oil use, right? They use palm oil, but in Australia they use some better oil. So now they are forced to take better decisions. So this kind of awareness campaigns actually help. The corporates are scared of such campaigns in a way. Initially, they did a case against such people, but eventually they had to accept. So, but it requires another
Yes,
form
and
of
great,
commitment.
Siddesh.
Yes.
One last thing, I think we were about to wrap up. One thing I just want to convey to the entire community of the Saturday for Sustainability and especially Dhananjay. So there's a concept going on with the government of India. It's called National Climate Youth Council. This is mooted by the organization, basically the youth organization I'm part of, and different youth organizations basically. So next, I think on 7th or 8th, I am going to meet the UNFCCC contact point in Delhi. He's the joint secretary of the Ministry of Environment. He is the contact point for entire COP and entire NDC submission or whatever is going on in India. He's in charge of this thing. This might be this might be happen under the Ministry of Environment or might be under the Ministry of Youth Affairs. So this plan has been mooted already as a basic concept of whatever the suggestions Gopalan sir has made and Siddhis is making, and whatever the suggestions we collect from all our Saturdays of sustainability, I think we can have one document I am asking for each and every organization I am part of, so that I am asking also you if we can collate it and we can present what the National Youth Climate Youth Council should looks like, and these are the points we should do, something like that. So maybe we can have a discussion after the meeting just to convey the entire idea. I just take this thing, take the task
Sure.
maybe. Yeah,
Sure,
so
sure,
that is the thing. I'll discuss with you more about it. So this is going to happen because last time I told you that I was in Addis, and this Somalia has already done it. So we are thinking of since last 5 6 months, and I'm not getting time. Sometime he's busy. Sometime he's not giving me the time. When should we meet? And emails after emails have done. So 2 3 representative are going from different youth organizations. I'm part of one of them. So maybe I can take this, and we are preparing one core document with bullet points, 1 page document, what it should be, the entire organization structure.
sure,
Okay,
sure.
brother,
Sure, Anup. So let's
here,
connect on this. Yeah.
no, 1 minute. We are being given 2,000 acres by Uttarakhand government for greening in the hilly areas. So just keep in mind so that your advice will be useful to share with my group. And we have already done here 1,000 acres in Hyderabad outskirts, which as whole country has appreciated. But then they said they want us to replicate in many other states. Even foreign countries are requesting us to do that. But you also can get some inputs. You can give me data which I can share with my group here.
Yeah, definitely. I will share one text. I will share one formal text in the group also, and then we'll
Yes,
have a discussion. All the
Yeah, yeah,
Saturdays, Sundays, I think we have every time we have this sort of discussion. This should be done. This should be done, and then somehow it got not documented anywhere in a one. Maybe we can.
Doesn't matter. We'll make small efforts, small steps. We'll definitely get things. Nothing to worry. Sure.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best for that. Okay.
Thank
It's
you.
8. My other meeting is starting at 8 o'clock. I'll have to join. You give me permission to leave the group. Okay.
Yes. Dr. Suman, you wanted to share something? Your hand was raised, but later on
No,
we couldn't hear you. Yeah.
no, actually, there are so many recommendations, so many reports, so many things, but the seed must come from within. Yeah, the root, the root of the system, we have to identify, and the seed must generate from within with us. Then only we can be example and can tell people or guide, implement or like that. That is where we have to focus thing on. Okay, there are so many ways and everything, and solutions are known for everybody. And there is lot of things going on, research or new technologies or anything. But it should start from you. You show the way. You whatever what people think, you don't care. You start with yourself. Nobody is coming. You just do it. People will join. Huh? You go and be example. There is nothing
Agree.
wrong. You are not harming or doing anything wrong. Or until unless you do wrong or harming the environment or anybody, you don't need to be afraid. You do the good thing, the effect will come automatically. If you see the great people, they started with zero. They initiated. So that is the main. Okay, so many reasons, so many things, biases and all.
Agree.
It is a
So
part of system. But ultimately, what you are doing, what is your contribution? Why you are born? Why you are what you are doing? That is important.
people will see what you do, not what you speak. So that's very important. So all of us
No,
can
no,
start
see
doing
you are
something.
doing, see you are doing it different, but what you are contributing, what you are doing, what is your thing? That is we have to focus.
Yeah.
So many
So
names, so many things. And Okay, these are all I agree and okay,
Agree,
that's all
agree.
I want to
So
say.
there are many resources, many books, but ultimately what we do that matter. So I have just created this action guide a couple of years back. So what I believe is starting with personal level, then we can expand our action towards outside. So there is one small uh, 8-9 pages document where it should be easier to do. So I have divided the actions in easy, medium, and advanced. So how we can do, what we can do at least. Okay, so small steps at home. So maybe start small, do it every day, and that's how our agency increases, and that's how we can contribute in a better way. So maybe you can consider it as a beginner, uh, then advanced, and then you are the pro in that. So maybe these are some of the suggestions. It's not the everything that we can do, but at least like buying local and nearer to our house is something that we all can do. Using bicycle for smaller distances, that is all we can do. So in same way, there are multiple things that we can do. So I've just compiled this. I'll share with you all. So as per on World Environment Day, what we can do. So maybe the outcome of this session would be every one of us. Maybe we can start with one small action. It's not something big, but that should be a long-term base. So let's say for I'll just quote one example of mine. So around 5 years back, 5 to 6 years back, I started uh, respecting my food. So whatever is on my plate, I'll not waste it. So that was my policy, and with water and with food. So from there on, I started doing it. So now I have the authority to tell anyone that don't waste your food, because no one sees food being wasted from my plate. So in this way, starting small also helps you. It and it helps you to bring in more or bigger change. So I would not recommend do something radical, but definitely starting one small thing that you can do, that would be great. So yeah, what are you doing? So if you want to share anything, please go ahead. You can.
I will, like, I think I said it last time also, like, sometimes it is difficult or overwhelming to do something, take an action because of circumstances or because of how you are shaped or society is shaped. So even writing, talking about it to start with can go a long way, because you are now training your brain that, okay, eventually you will have to take action. So, like, so right now it's impossible, or not impossible, but it's like, because we are addicted to certain things, like in a lifestyle, certain lifestyle, anything. But
Right.
now we are having a vision. Okay, I want to go there. I want to go there. So at least that, and don't pressurize yourself too much, because it's not in. I will again say it's not individual's fault. It is the fossil fuel industry's fault. The way society is shaped, the way media is shaped, the way we are receiving the content across social media, across platforms. So it is coming from very top. We will feel individually the guilt, but that is all climate scientists will say tell you this. It's we have to do our bit in a small. So I will suggest Catherine. She is a climate scientist. I will share a TED talk. Her TED talk is the best TED talk when it comes to changing, and how we can talk about why talking about climate change is so important. Even that is a start.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing. So start one individual activity for yourself, and second target would be at least talk about climate change to one person,
I
or
just
share this,
need to
make them
share one
watch.
more thing, one thing.
Yes, Anup. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have been using it last 1 year, most probably 10, 11 months. There's an app called Act Now from, I think I have shared earlier also, from United Nations. What you are doing, the same thing, but in a more like putting off your life, not using the water during saving, like we used to do it, right? So all this thing, and you have to put it that I have done it, done it, done it, and it will calculate your carbon footprint, how much carbon footprint you are saving it. So it's like a traceability thing. You can download. It's an app called Act Now. It's a great thing. So whatever practice you're thinking of starting of doing, or whatever you are doing also, that's great. But it's like it will be documented somewhere, and it will generate the that's much carbon footprint this person is listening out, something like that.
Great, great. I'll share that on screen also. So Okay, so this is different, I guess. I'll check the app and I'll share the link. Okay, this is about app only. What you're saying? This is app, right?
Yeah, in app you have to register that for activities. In app you have to register it.
So this is the same, right? Where I am.
Yes, 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 definitely. It is.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'll share this link in the group. And also, Siddesh has shared the TED talk. So this is the link. I'll share this in group as well. The most important thing you can do to fight climate change. Perfect.
And
So
she has a very amazing book also, which talks about empathy, how you can engage with when we find difficult to engage with people about climate change, right? How we can engage with them, how we can uh, you know you know bring them to a conscious that this is what is happening, and because people are in denial. So it's an amazing book, so you can check that also.
great. Sure.
Definitely, and Siddesh, just a thing that I have talked to her on LinkedIn. She's a great mind. We have exchanged a couple of things. She's a great mind. Definitely, yeah.
Great. Yeah. So what are you doing on World Environment Day? What else we can do?
Planting tree is the most important thing. I think that the best thing we can do at our, even if you're thinking of having a comfort zone or something like that, that easily we can do. Or at least we can pour at least water in a tree, which is you're thinking it's like a part of restoration, right? You're restoring a tree. Something like that I can suggest.
Yeah. And while discussing planting of tree, uh, I think this is best in Indian subcontinent. The reason being, it's a June month, and soon monsoon will come, rain will come, and next 3 4 months, let's say that whatever plant you have planted, so that gets stabilized. So I guess this is the best time from all year around to do the plantation. So that is also a wonderful thing to do. It's a systemic solution, maybe. It will take care of itself once it grows. Yes.
I think
Yeah. So let's
is it
do.
Dhananjay, is it
Yeah.
same thing that during our school days the forest department used to give the on 5th of June the plants free of cost to all the students and children, anyone, any public. Is it same till now? I don't know. I don't know is it
Eco
there or
clubs
not
were there, right?
from any forest department. Eco
Hmm.
clubs are there. I'm part of during my childhood, during my school days, but I don't know is it the same in the each and every government. I don't know
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now what's
that's
the
same. But
you can get it
actually, what
free.
is lacking, the environmental education, relating it with current scenario. What are the current challenges, and how do we have our lifestyle choices with respect to all these challenges? So that is something I guess lacking, because only planting trees is not enough. Yeah, it's important part of solution, but at the same time, you should also have, let's say, ask critical questions. What is the root cause of this? What I can do personal level, what I can do at individual, at organizational level, at society. So there are multiple things that we need to at least aware the people that okay, this is a thing, so that they can take uh, informed choice.
I hope 5th June everyone will realize, because we are already in a climate emergency in India, at least, with temperatures touching and people dying because of heat waves.
Yeah,
And not
yesterday
it
I
is
was
not
shocked.
taken it is not taken that seriously.
In UP, there were 15 or 25 people on the polling duty, and
Yeah,
they
you're
died
right.
the day before polls. So it was
And I
devastating
saw
news.
one video in BR also where there you saw that where the school, inside the school, the girls
Yeah,
were
yeah, the
actually facing this.
girls, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it got
yeah,
viral. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They almost got a heat stroke and they had to be taken to the hospital. So it's happening too much, and it's not declared a climate emergency, though that's a irony.
So
No,
hopefully, let's
government can't
spread this
declare
awareness.
climate emergency.
Yeah.
I think
This
WMO
news.
declared, right? This sort of emergency, I think. I don't know
This
who is
this
it
flooding
who
happening
declared
now
climate
in
emergency.
Manipur and 3 4 states. The flooding is also happening.
Happening, but I don't know if the government has to declare it or WMO. Like during the health emergency, COVID, first WHO declared it's a health emergency, so now country should declare it's a health emergency. Same, I think, goes with the climate emergency. I don't know that fact that much. I think it's the first WMO should declare it as a climate emergency in the country. I don't know that fact. The individual government can't declare like that. I don't know that fact. I think Dhananjay can check and share something about it, how climate emergency should be
Then
declared.
again,
It's
I will.
also
Then again, I will ask, why not?
Why it's so late?
Why to wait?
Yeah, but I guess this is the best year for us to spread environmental awareness. The reason being, in India, we are seeing all these kind of different things, and even in Delhi, couple of years back, I also remember when I was discussing about climate crisis and environmental issues, one person told me that where is climate issue? I live in an AC apartment, AC home. I have a AC car. Where is climate emergency? So that was the response I got from one of the educated person. But now
So
I guess
that's why
this
this
year,
book. That's why this book is very important. The one I shared. She gives the scenario as to how she communicates with her family, relatives, how to talk to them. How to engage them. Maybe look at the common things they care about, their children, and then engage them to that. So that's a very lovely book that way. Yeah.
definitely. So I'll also read it, and maybe next any day we can have what are the short learnings of the book. So maybe you can share.
Yeah.
That will be great, immensely helpful for all of us.
Yeah, we can
book
have one book
discussion
day
session.
discussion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
maybe we can do it on 5th June if everyone is okay.
Yeah.
But
I also thought
are you
about the
thinking
same.
of
So let's see Siddesh
ah
availability.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you so much everyone for your valuable time and your wonderful inputs. It was great. So let's see what we can do on World Environment Day. And yeah, happy World Environment Day to all. Thank you. Have a great day, great weekend.